So choosing what division to play in disc golf can be really difficult. It's not as easy as, well, if you score X on your local course, then you should belong in Y division, because everyone's local course plays differently and has different levels of difficulty. But there are a few general guidelines that can help you when deciding what division to play in your first tournament. So let's talk about it. First off, the best way to find out what division to play in would be to ask your friends. If you have friends that play a lot of tournaments or have experience in tournaments, that is the best way to know which division to play in, would be to ask them what they think of your game. And the reason for this is your friends know your game better than I do. I've never seen you play, well, maybe I have, and I know you, but your friends should know your game and be able to judge which division you should go into if they've played in tournaments before. But maybe your friends are more casual and haven't played in any tournaments before. So then these are some of the guidelines that you can use to choose which division to play in. So I'm gonna go through each division and kind of talk about what kind of player belongs in each division, and I'll have timestamps down below so that you can look at and jump to whichever division you think you might fit in. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you a way that you can take your scores from your local course to kind of judge which division you can also play in as well. So if you don't know the divisions, there are a few main divisions. So first division at the very top is open, which means pro, and then you've got advanced, intermediate, rec, and novice, and then you have the same thing in women's as well. And I will go through women's divisions as well and the guidelines for that too. So you're not being left out. So when you go to the PDGA website, they have just general guidelines onto which division you should probably play in based off of your skill level. And the first thing is the advanced division. In the advanced division, if you are above 935 rated, if you're an AM, you're required to play in the advanced division. This is for players who have played for a while, who have played several years. They're also very consistent in their game. They also say that the advanced players should throw about anywhere between 300 and 450 feet. And then they can also make 5 to 7 putts out of 10 from 25 to 30 feet. So meaning they're pretty comfortable at circle's edge. And it also says that they have different shots in their arsenal. So they can throw ante, hyzer, flat, turnover shots. They can forehand, tomahawk, thumber, you name it, scuba, whatever shots. They have different shots in their arsenal. Now going on to intermediate. What the PDGA says about intermediate players is that they're obviously below 935. Advanced, you're required to play. If you're above 935, below 935, you can play intermediate. They describe intermediate players as about 2 to 3 years of experience. They're starting to develop consistency, but they are still pretty inconsistent in terms of their rounds, their throws, their putts, whatever. They can throw the disc anywhere between 250 to 350 feet, and their putts, they're making about 5 to 7 out of 10 putts from about 20 feet away rather than circle's edge. And when you're in intermediate, you might be developing other shots, so you might be developing more of a forehand or starting to learn how to throw on an anhyzer well, but you've got a good amount of throws pretty dialed in. Now when you go to recreational division, the rec is anybody below 900 rated. So if you're above 900 rated and below 935, you have to play intermediate, but rec, you can play in rec if you're below 900. Now rec players are more beginners. They're just starting out or they just play casually, but rec players usually throw around 200 to 300 feet. Then rec players from 20 feet away, they make about 4 to 6 putts out of 10. So they're about 50-50 from 20 feet away. And then when you get to novice, there's not a whole lot of events that have a novice division, but if they do, novice is for players under 850 rated, or these are players who have just started the game. They're brand new. These players are still learning how to throw, and they're making about 3 to 5 putts from 20. So they're a little bit nervous from 20, not quite hitting 50-50. Now when you get into women's divisions, they have a little bit different guidelines. So advanced women's, These are women who've been playing for several years. They're anywhere above 825 rated. The PDGA says these players are probably throwing from 300. What the heck is that? And these women are usually throwing from 200 to 300 feet. And then advanced women are usually hitting about 4 to 6 putts out of 10 from circle's edge. So they're about 50-50 from circle's edge. Now intermediate women, those are rated below 825. They're starting to develop disc golf skills. They're starting to get their throws pretty dialed in. They throw between 125 to 200 feet, and they're making about 3 to 5 putts from 20 feet away, so not quite 50-50 from there. And now rec are women below 775 rated, and this is more for just beginners, casuals, you're just now learning the sport. And then same with novice. The novice has pretty same guidelines, but they're 725, below 725 rated. Now all of these are pretty good guidelines and suggestions for what division to play in, but there are some exceptions. It's all subjective. Now one way you can look at what you score at your local course, I actually didn't know about this until recently, but if you go to the Disc Golf Course Review website, so that's dgcoursereview.com, on there you can look up your courses. So you go to courses, browse courses, then there's just way too much information there, but you just scroll all the way down, just type in your zip code, and then you hit enter or find courses right here. And I've already pulled up one of the courses in my area at Waterworks. On this, you scroll down and you'll see on here you got DGCR SSE. And what that stands for is Disc Golf Course Review Scratch Scoring Estimate. And a scratch score is basically what a general, I don't know, pro disc golfer, it's scratch golf. And it's basically 1,000 rated. 1,000 rated round should be scoring this number. So on Waterworks, you've got about a 47 on just the standard basket locations, which is about 7 under par. So if you're shooting about 7 under par, then that's about an 1,000 rated round on an estimate on Disc Golf Course Review. Now what you can do with this, and this is generally for the males, I'm not exactly sure for the females, but basically if you look at that and be like, oh yeah, I normally score 7 under at Waterworks, that's generally what I score, then you should probably be playing an open. So you're pretty good. Now, if you look at that score and you're just like, okay, I could probably score -7. I mean, not regularly, but if I play really well, I could probably shoot 7 under par at Waterworks. If that's kind of your attitude towards that, then you're probably more of an advanced player, because a lot of advanced players can shoot 1,000 rated rounds, but shooting 1,000 rated and being rated a 1,000 rated player are two completely different things. And then if you look at it and you're just like, I mean, if I shot that would be the best round of my life. That would be incredible. Then you're probably an intermediate player. Then if you look at that and you're just like, people shoot 7 under par at Waterworks. If it's just unbelievable to you, not even realistic, then you should sign up for rec. That's generally, again, this is more subjective, and this is dependent on a lot of things like wind and rain conditions, all of that, but that's just the general consensus. Now, if you go to leagues, the divisions are a little bit different. In most leagues, they either have just a pro division or an AM division, and that's it. So now, when do you know to do that? So pros, in that sense, the pro division is mainly for advanced and pros. So if you're more in the advanced category from what I've said in this video, then you would sign up for pro in that case. AM is more for intermediate to rec players. So again, if you fit more in the intermediate to rec from what I said earlier in this video, then that would be for you. Yeah, if you found this video helpful at all, hit that like button. It really helps this channel out, and hit subscribe if you want some more disc golf content. But we'll see you in the next one. No. You move. I'm trying to record, trying to make a video.